Andrew Yaksic, we dedicate this podcast to your face. Thanks for donating and for listening. You are half of our fan base. Join hands and hearts and voices, voices, hearts and hands. Andrew is a really swell guy. We don't need to lie.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
I've never known anybody like you. You look at the world and you think you can make it better. Somebody's lost, you find him. Somebody's bleeding and
Yeah, go get my daddy. That's really brave, like you said.
That took a lot of guts to go to him. I mean, you are not scared of anything. I don't know.
Me? I'm scared of everything. I'm scared of what I saw. I'm scared of what I did, of who I am. And most of all, I'm scared of walking out of this room and never feeling the rest of my whole life the way I feel when I'm with you.
Hey guys, welcome to the Large Marge Sent Us podcast, your favorite podcast where two sweetie sisters talk about movies that shaped their adorable childhood. I'm Sweetie.
I'm Sweetie.
And today we've had the time of our lives watching Dirty Dancing. I swear it's the truth. And I blame it on myself because I was listening to Pandora today, and guess what came on? I did tell you this.
I know. There's so many songs to pick from.
Many songs.
Maybe. Baby.
Incorrect.
I guess I was wrong. Just tell me what it is.
She's like the wind through my trees.
It's not even a song that I remember
It's not
from
that
this.
good. But I remember it because it reminds me so fondly of dear Patrick Swayze, who we lost in 2009.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Pat. I don't think anyone called him Pat. He doesn't seem like a Pat to me.
I feel like when Jennifer Grey was on Dancing with the Stars, she called him Pat.
Wow. He just doesn't seem like a Pat, but
Maybe
I hope he's a Pat.
Maybe I made it up. I don't know. Don't quote me.
Anyways, guys, so if you haven't gathered from our amazing introduction, we watched Dirty Dancing tonight. Dirty Dancing is an amazing movie, and I don't forget this, but I'm reminded of it, and I feel like I love it more and more as I'm watching it when I get older.
Why is that?
I don't know. I feel like I was bitching before we watched this, and I was like, "Man, like I don't believe their love and like all that shit." But I was like in tears watching this, so I get it.
Yeah, but were we in tears because we were like, "Oh, I love him so much," or because it was a sweet dad moment, and we always get sensitive about sweet dad moments?
I don't know. I kind of fell for the love story this time, like an old sad sack now.
Maybe you're old enough to appreciate it.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, amazing movie made in 1987, starring Jennifer Grey,
Patrick Swayze,
Jerry Orbach,
Penny,
Cynthia Rhodes. Yeah. Wow, that was in
Nice.
sync. Cameo by Dennis Nedry,
Wayne Knight.
Newman.
It was his first movie.
It was. That's pretty awesome. He did a great job. Also, every role that he's ever been in is just like that. But hey, we love the pigeonhole.
Me too.
Anyone else of note? Not really,
Nope.
huh?
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone else sort of faded into the 80s oblivion. But damn, y'all, what a great mix of songs, dance, romance,
Comedy,
drama, abortions,
and
nice
That's it.
shoes.
Oh. Yep, dance shoes.
Good fashion.
Well, I mean, good dance fashion. I don't know.
Yeah. So let's dive into it. One rich Jewish hotel summer place at a time, aka Kellerman's. Bring us back to Kellerman's, sweetie. It's a sweetie synopsis. Yeah.
Frances Hausman, nicknamed Baby, is spending the summer with her family at Kellerman's, a lovely summer retreat in the Catskills where families can take dance lessons, they can go to magic shows, and they can try on wigs, all in the beautiful, scenic, landscape of the Catskills. Wait, where are the Catskills?
Wow, you sold me. When can we go? Sign me up.
Wow. Yeah, you really want to try on those wigs.
Hey, listen, watching this, I was like, I have never have had a summer vacation time like that. My parents weren't like, hey, kid, like, let's go away for months to this place. Never had a summer vacation romance. I mean, I am ripe for that. Yes, just kidding. I'm too old. And I have a boyfriend. But still.
He has a boyfriend. Look out.
Look out.
I was going to drop it. Yeah, we went on vacations. But although, weren't they only there for 2 weeks? Am I remembering that correctly? Because remember at the beginning, Kellerman's like, 2 weeks here will feel like a year.
I feel like it was a thing where they were there the whole summer because by the end it's like fall.
That's what it seems like, but I don't know.
The timeline is the timeline. No idea. I mean,
No clue.
who knows? Well, I think they did get there midsummer because how did Penny have that relationship with Robbie and get knocked up and know she was pregnant? So.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Back to the synopsis. Yep. Baby and her family are at this camp. Well, I don't really camp, but it's like a retreat, I guess. She sees one night she sneaks into the staff quarters, which now that I'm thinking about it, well, wait a minute. Mind explosion. Where all of them were professional dancers? No.
Well, they were just like, that was their summer job. They like were good at dancing. You mean, were they like how Patrick Swayze like gave lessons? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, they couldn't all have been. So now I'm thinking that, staff is a general term. Yeah. Like, so any of the staff. So I always thought it was just only the dance instructors.
Me too.
Wow. Mind blown. So
because in the beginning, remember that whole scene where like Johnny comes walking in through the dining room and Kellerman is lecturing the waiters and is like, like take all the daughters out, even the dogs, blah, blah, blah. And Johnny comes in with the entertainment staff. So I feel like that staff was a different staff than like the waiters and the kids who like fucking led volleyball and shit like that.
Yeah, but I guess only the cool staff are the dirty dancers.
Right. So wasn't that supposed to be like that line that was drawn?
Okay, it just seems like there's a lot of them. And like maybe they could save some money by not having so many.
Staff was like really smart, remember? Because he's like, I hired you from Harvard and Yale, and then there was like the riffraff.
It seemed like just the wait staff he was talking to in that scene, so that was confusing. Okay. But so anyways, so she goes into this staff-only place, which is just a sweaty dance hall where everybody's just grinding. It's called Dirty Dancing. Oh, whoa, that was weird. She spots Johnny Castle, who is the
well, she had seen him before.
She'd seen him before, and she's like, "Oh, who's that? He's handsome. He's cute. He's dancing with Penny. She likes him. He's actually." This is a terrible synopsis already. She carries some watermelons. Billy is actually cousins with Johnny Castle. Johnny Castle comes over and is like, "Yo, why'd you bring this girl here? It's staff only, bro." And he's like, "Well, I brought her here." And she's like, "I carried a watermelon." Great line. So then Johnny dances with her, and she gets swept up into the kind of allure of the dirty dancing.
She's smitten kitten. So as the summer progresses, she is annoyingly hanging out with Neil, who is the grandson of the owner, and she really hates him. But then also like sort of still wants to hang out with the riffraff. So she's at like this gazebo like dance party thing with the adults, and goes out. There's so many plots to this. It's gonna get crazy.
Let's just say that she.
Anyway, we have to get into the abortion side plot. So Penny, who is the professional dancer, friends with Johnny, not dating, got knocked up by Robbie the waiter, who is now courting Lisa, her sister. A lot of drama-rama at this little summer camp, whatever. Penny needs money for an abortion. You know how much an abortion costs in 1963?
$250.
That is a fucking lot of money. And not only $250, but it was fucking illegal.
Yeah. Dangerous.
Yeah. Roe versus Wade, what was in 73 or something? So we're 10 years from that. Only back alley abortions. So she can't get the money. And baby's like, yo, I'm rich. I can get you the money. Asks her dad, doesn't tell her dad what it's for, but is able to get the money. So great. They have the money and Penny can get the abortion. But what's the big problem?
Big problem is that Johnny and Penny are scheduled to do a dance at the Shell Drake, which is another hotel. Nobody else can cover it, even though there's like a zillion other dance instructors.
You really had a problem with that.
I did. Like, honestly, nobody has a night off. No one has a night off, whatever. So they're like, oh, baby can do it. And she's like, what? No, I can't. But Johnny's like, yeah, she can't do it. And then that kind of makes her want to be like, you know what? I can do it. So she helps them out. She learns the dance, crash course in learning the mambo, I guess. They learn it. They perform it. Penny has the abortion. It goes poorly because this guy had dirty tools. Dirty knife. And a folding table. So it's bad. Baby wakes up her dad. He rescues her. He thinks that Johnny is responsible for getting her pregnant, and then he sees that baby's kind of with him. He gets very upset. So that's over. The rest of the time,
their relationship isn't over because now they carry on in secret. So she goes to Johnny's cabin in the middle of the night, and she goes, she's like, oh my God, basically like, you're so great. And he's like, no, like your dad's great. You should be like, trying to get guys that are like, like your dad who's going to be a doctor and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, I don't want to leave this cabin knowing that I'll never feel the way I felt tonight with you or blah, blah, blah. And they have this hot dance scene and they do it, presumably. And then they're kind of romancing together for the summer. However, it's a real struggle for Baby because she knows her dad doesn't want her hooking up with the riffraff, but she really loves him.
Mm-hmm. And then this gross older lady that Johnny sometimes has sex with for money, I guess, right? She tips him well for that. She gets mad because he doesn't want to have sex with her. She blames her wallet goes missing. Wait, does it really go missing?
No.
Sorry, I was in the bathroom.
Yeah, you were peeing. So there was this weird scene where her husband Mo like plays these all-night pinochle games, and he gives Johnny money, and he goes, I'm at this all-night card game, give my wife extra dance lessons. Sketchy. So he's like paying this poor dance instructor to like hook up with his gross wife. Ick. Anyway, he goes, finally, no. Like usually he would be like, yeah, because he wants the money and like doesn't mind a little P in the V, if you know what I mean.
What's the wallet situation? What's the wallet
anyway,
situation?
So then he goes and hooks up with Baby that night. What's her name? Gross old lady hooks up with Robbie, and when she's leaving Robbie's house in the morning, sees Baby leaving Johnny's house, and he gets pissed. Mm-hmm. Coincidentally, that same night, her husband's wallet was stolen in the middle of the night, and she makes up a lie and says she saw Johnny like sniffing around there and blames it on him. So then Johnny is about to get fired for stealing this wallet, even though they haven't found the wallet and there's no evidence. And Johnny doesn't have an alibi, but the wallet was stolen between 1 and 4:30 in the morning. Like, he was sleeping. Hello? Anyway, finally, Baby has to confess she's his alibi. So he's not now in trouble for stealing the wallet, but he is in trouble for porking a guest.
So he gets fired and has to leave. So he leaves. They say goodbye to each other. It's sad. The final dance, the final kind of recital for the camp is that night. Cute. And then Johnny interrupts it. He marches up to the stage and grabs Baby, and he gets to do his final dance that he wanted to with Baby, and she gets to show everybody that she's an amazing dancer and then prove their love and all stuff like that. Her dad makes amends and says, you look great up there.
Waterworks.
It was a really emotional night for us.
We held hands.
And then that's it. And there's a big dance party at the end. Yep. The end.
They had the time of their lives, and they never felt that way before. I swear.
Yeah.
It's the truth. Mm-hmm. And I owe it all to Patrick Swayze.
Pat,
we love you. We miss you. Anyways, what an awesome film. So, sweetie, what's your favorite scene?
Oh, the end scene by far. Yeah. I always just get so happy and like wrapped up in it all. It makes me so happy that she's wearing the perfect white flowy dress and her strappy dance shoes. Good thing she wore them and not her kids. That would have been bad. But it's just so great, and I love like how her parents and her sister are like, oh my God, where'd she learn this?
And everyone dances at the end. Nobody cares how old people are.
It's great.
It's this new generation, old generation, money, whatever. It doesn't matter.
And she finally does the lift.
Yes!
We're so excited. It's such a great moment. It's just really great. It's great. It's iconic. It's iconic.
I'm going to agree with that as my favorite scene, but also as a close second, the training montage. I don't know what it is about training montages to a good song, but they get me.
Is it because she's wearing underwear and the strappy dance shoes and tights?
I just wanted the hot shoes. I'm not gonna lie. I might have put on my high heels. My first pair of high heels ever was the pair I bought. My mom bought me for my first communion. So they're like white leather kitten heels with these like weird little gold studs on the back. And it was the only pair of high heels my mom would let me buy until I was like, I don't know, maybe in like middle school or something. So I would put those on and like do the like hungry eyes like scene in front of the mirror by myself.
Oh my God.
Wish I had a video of that. Hungry eyes won't look at you when I hypnotize. I got.
It's beautiful. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So interesting. So before you were saying that you didn't buy the love. You didn't think it was a great love story. Yeah. Do you want to talk more about why you thought that?
Well, I mean, your theory was about the true backstory of the leads in this film. So Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey like hated each other. They hated working together. They had this amazing screen test, but then they really just like butted head once they were filming. So once that became known, like, did that like make it seem like they didn't like each other? I didn't believe that. I do really believe their love. However, I've never found Patrick Swayze attractive. And I really love Patrick Swayze. I think he's a gem and a half in this. However, he's just not sexy to me for some reason. And I know why he is. Like, I get it, but I've never been attracted to men like him. So I'm stuck there.
He looks a little plasticky to me. Like, he's always seemed a little plastic. Like a Barbie, like a Ken doll. Yeah. Which maybe also was never that attracted to him. But I also think that he was very mean to her. And that kind of turned me off. Like, he's a very mean teacher.
Well, he, like, had to be. And maybe he was, like, trying to be that way to, like, turn... He knew she was going to, like, already was, like, crushing on him so bad. And maybe he was like,
he did?
I don't know, maybe.
No, I think he always thought he never had good self-esteem. So he probably didn't think, like, anything like that. Because she was, like, well-to-do and, you know... He didn't think that she would like him.
Right, that too. I mean, he had like, you know, almost like how Penny had like an edge to her. Remember, you're like, Penny was like super mean to her at the beginning and she was trying to be so nice to her. And she was just such a biatch to her. Mm-hmm. But you're like, Penny's just icy like at first. You need to warm up to her. Like, she's
like, I know
your
her.
old friend.
Listen, I know about Penny, okay? Yeah, you just gotta give her some time. She'll get there.
And as we're talking about Penny, I just want to bring up how terrifying I think her body is. Like,
I can't.
I've never seen someone so skinny. I used to be a ballet dancer. I know a lot of skinny people. This is like unreal to me. She is so skinny. You can see every bone in her body. She's an amazing dancer and she's an amazing body for dancing, but ow.
She wears a belt at one point and I was like, what is that? I was like, is that a child's belt? I was like, is that a rubber band? Like, what is that belt? Where did you find that? But do you need a belt? No. Yeah, so skinny, but nice, good arches though.
I mean, amazing dancer body. She's just, you know that I read in the trivia that she was at one point married to Richard Marx, the singer.
Who's that?
I can't remember what songs he sings. Richard Marx.
I don't even know who that is.
I'm confusing it with Bryan Adams, who earlier today. So today it was announced that Kanye West like was hospitalized or whatever, and I was talking to Sweetie on GChat, and then I happened to mention something about Bryan Adams first, and then I said something about Kanye West being bipolar, but Sweetie didn't separate the two like facts and spent the entire day thinking that Bryan Adams was bipolar. I mean, it might be. I don't know, but that's not what I was talking about.
Of course I thought that. You didn't like make a lead. What's that called? A thesis of what's that? The first sentence of a paragraph called again?
Thesis statement?
It's like a lead-in or like I don't know. So you didn't like preface that. You were just like, oh, he's bipolar. Like you didn't even say like Kanye's bipolar. So all day I thought poor Bryan Adams was bipolar.
Poor Bryan Adams.
Sorry, I'm also dying, so I apologize.
Richard Marx right here waiting for you.
Oh, I thought that was
Now and Forever I Will Be Your Man. Come on. Hold on to the night. Come on.
But no longer married to him. Was this a brief romance?
Don't mean nothing. Wow.
So, in true Sweetie fashion, there are a few things we did not understand in this movie.
I wanted to make a new segment called
several segments.
Sweetie Confusion. Yeah.
So confused. We definitely, there's one part where, after Baby finds Penny crying in the kitchen, she goes to get Billy, and then he gets Johnny, and then she's like, what's wrong with her? And Billy's like, she's knocked up, baby. And then Emily and I were always like, what does that mean? And Penny was just always really upset. I mean, I guess we must have figured out she was pregnant at some point. But
I think I thought knocked up meant like knocked around, like
Ooh, yeah.
Robbie maybe hit her or something, because she looked like bruised when she was crying in the kitchen.
She was very upset. But then maybe when we were a little older, I guess I kind of knew that she got pregnant, but I was confused why she was so upset and like why it was like the end of the world, because obviously I did not understand the history and the why like an abortion being illegal and stuff like that. So,
well, I just did some research too, and so that abortion was going to cost $250 in 1963. In today's money, that's $733. So that's a chunk of change
for a dance instructor that probably doesn't make very much money. Yeah.
No, that's why they needed money.
Yep.
She couldn't do a Kickstarter to get her abortion done.
Also, yeah, and because they never mentioned the actual word abortion in this, so I couldn't understand why we were all so confused about that part. But this whole like, I know a guy, blah blah blah, and then when he comes, Billy's like, oh, he had a folding table, no ether, rusted knife. We had no idea what was happening.
Yeah, and you don't know, like, when the dad comes, she's just like sweating profusely and like shaking. My theory is that she had, with little to no medical training that I have, as in no medical training, she had an infection, I'm thinking, or was bleeding out, like was, you know, they probably like scraped it out of her, so she was like hemorrhaging. I don't know. So
scary stuff.
Good thing Dr. Hausman was there.
This is why abortions are legal.
His doctor bag. Yeah, this is a cautionary tale, people. This is why we cannot have Roe v. Wade overturned. We can't go back to this time where, like, you would have to freaking get a traveling doctor to come and freaking do it. It's unbelievable. Bad news. And rant.
Yeah. So I think that's maybe the extent of what we didn't know, though. I mean, I'm sure there were some other sexual undertones we missed, but...
Well, I feel like watching this, I feel like this was, like, the most sexual movie that I was allowed to watch as, like, a young person, and it was just, like, it did seem so dirty to me. And now watching this as an older person, it's pretty tame if you think about it.
It is Dirty Dancing, though.
Yeah. I mean, the dancing is dirty, but it is just dancing. It's not like, you know, and even, like, this, you don't see anyone really naked. You see a lot of bras. There's a lot of bras.
Yeah, but I think maybe just like the time, so the 60s, this was like very new, this style
but even
of
though
dancing.
This was made in this was made in the 80s. And that's the other thing I think I was confused about, because this was a period movie. I thought this was like from the 60s, didn't you?
Oh. No, I thought that like I don't think I even knew that it was supposed to take place in the 60s when I saw it. Like, I thought it was, like, present day, which just confused me. And I was like, wow, people dress really nice. Because it's not like that style of dress is very, like, people would still wear something like that, maybe, if they were rich and stuck up. So I got confused. I mean, and Johnny just wears leather jackets, which are timeless. So it was confusing for me.
Yeah, and this is like before, you know, we had seen Mad Men, which we really, I feel like, defined a lot of our history.
We base all of our knowledge on.
Yes. Our knowledge of the 60s, I like mostly base it on like Mad Men.
I do. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, wait, but lesson. Joan had 3 abortions. Where'd she get those? And then you were like, I don't think they gave birth control to people that weren't married. And I was like, Joan had birth control. So I got confused. Yeah. But yeah, so that's that. Oh, my other favorite random part is that I wish there was a spin-off. Maybe we can make it after our follow-up to Adventures in Babysitting. We can do this movie, The Schumachers, A Life of Crime by Sweetie and Sweetie.
Yeah. Right. What's their story? I want to know why they were, like, wanted in Arizona and Florida. But also, I would like what happened to these characters after? I want to follow this through. Did Baby and Johnny make it? Do you think they made it?
No, I think it was a summer fling, and then she's going to go off to college, probably become a lesbian for a little while, join the Peace Corps, and then... I
want to really flesh that out, though. Like, I want to see, like what happened to Johnny? I feel like nothing good.
I mean, I don't think he comes back to Kellerman's, right?
No, I don't think he comes back to Kellerman's, but hopefully, the way the movie starts, it's like her being like, it was the summer of 63, like... everyone called me baby. I didn't care, and I was getting ready to go to the Peace Corps, and blah blah blah. Like, so she's just like narrating and like remembering like this summer of her life.
How old do you think Johnny is?
Okay, so she's supposed to be 17, even though Jennifer Grey was 27 when this was filmed. So good for her for being able to be 10 years younger than she was. Johnny, I'm guessing, I'm thinking late 20s now.
Late 20s?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
I don't.
Because I think that it's like part of the scandal is that he is older, but like, I don't know. Do you think? I don't know. Like he hasn't found a real job yet. Like he's going to go in the union to be like a house painter.
His only skills were like he was working at a what do you say, a kitchenette,
luncheonette, basically a diner, right?
Kitchenette. I was just wondering, maybe he had to go to Vietnam or something. I don't know.
Yes, definitely. Okay.
Well, Billy definitely did.
Oh, all of the guys.
Billy's dead.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Well, maybe not. I mean, just a high chance. Ooh. I think I still would like to go back to the Schumachers because so they obviously had a wallet stealing ring. They just went around and stole everybody's wallets. Seems kind of flimsy, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's not a good and like. Oh, how did they do it? Well, I guess they were just like
well, they were very small,
unobvious. Yes, they were gnomes. Like an unobvious old couple who are just probably like wobbling all around and like wobbling into people's chairs and stealing stuff.
The husband was probably playing pinochle with Hussy Lady's husband, and he stole the wallet then. But they also were at the Sheldrake, so their wallet stealing ring expanded to all the hotels in the area. Apparently,
yeah, that was like
that is just a strange side plot. Yeah, that I will never forget for as long as I live.
As long as I live. Go ahead.
Oh, embarrassing part. By far, most embarrassing part. Gagong. Gagong. I can't keep a straight face when that happens. I just feel so embarrassed.
Right. And that is like one see I don't like okay. I do like the getting it the dance training montage is great, but it's really cheesy to me and I don't really like felt that chemistry with them there. However, the like sexy dance scene to the song Cry to Me in the like bungalow, like single man bachelor cabin that he has
before they have sex for the first time,
is like the hottest scene ever. I love that song. First of all,
tons ago.
The singer is this great guy called Solomon Burke. Good old singer along the like lines of like Sam Cooke and Jackie Wilson. And Otis Redding. Yeah. So if you ever do like a Jackie Wilson or like a Sam Cooke playlist on Pandora, like this will come up. So yeah, so it's the song. It's like, when you're waiting for us to come in the night.
That's the chorus?
Yeah. No. There, don't you feel like a crying? Cry to me. Don't you feel like crying? Cry to me.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a really good song.
Yeah, it's like totally for humping. So get on it, people.
Or as I like to call it, Mambo Magic.
Mambo number 5.
No, the song. No, Lou Bega. It is not that. No, that's what his dance thing is called at the Sheldrake. They're like Johnny Castle and partner in Mambo Magic.
Speaking of dances, I would like to know, what is the pachanga? I've never heard that dance in my life.
Maybe Carol knows. Should we ask her?
I want to ask Carol something. We got to do something. She's awake.
Don't force it. I feel like there's nothing to ask. Carol, were abortions really like this in 1963? She wouldn't know.
Swayze was sexy. That was what I was
but she was too like I don't think she was the target audience for this at the time.
87, so she was like a mom in her 30s. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'd have to ask Liz, our older sister. I think she definitely liked it.
Oh, she loved it. I remember her friends were obsessed with it.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. I mean, I get it. Whatever. I also love, my other favorite part is the water sequence in the log scene.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And when he breaks the window with the post, he kicks it out. He's like bam, 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 and then gets it. Song. And she's like, "You're wild." I don't know what that one is. I forget. There's too many good songs. So
Overload. It's overload. Yep, that's it.
It's the one.
Good scene. After scene, amazing. One small, I feel like this are always the like kind of one trivia fact I always have about who else like auditioned for the 2 lead roles of this movie.
Oh, well, I saw that Val Kilmer was I didn't read your notes. I read it off myself off the trivia because I was looking for something else. But so yeah, Val Kilmer. But then the real front runner was Billy Zane, but he couldn't dance well. Sorry, Billy. Don't worry, you made it big in Titanic later.
It was like an asshole. I'm just like,
Or Back to the Future.
Oh my God, Justine Bateman. Just kidding.
Jerk. I was like,
It's always Justine Bateman for 80s movies. Sarah Jessica Parker, front runner. That would have been. I think she could have done a good job.
Yeah,
she has a very similar Jennifer Grey-ish look to her. Puffy hair, bad nose. Sharon Stone, random. I feel like she's been in a couple 80s front runners too. So crazy. Speaking of Jennifer Grey, I want to talk about two things.
Uh-oh.
A, what do you feel about her nose job?
Well, yes, she looks beautiful now. She looked beautiful before, but now she looks perfect. And I think, but unfortunately, her nose was kind of what made her her character. But if it gave her confidence and it made her feel great, then that's fine.
You can't begrudge anyone for that kind of stuff. Right. Like, I think it really gave her a complex. Her nose, which is really, I don't think it's bad at all now. I don't know, maybe just who she was up against when she was auditioning for all these roles, and she just felt like it made her, I don't know, I think it made her stand out in a good way, but she really had no more success really after she got that nose job, right?
What was that movie with the Cinderella?
So this is the other thing I want to bring up. The only other Jennifer Grey movie that I can recommend to anyone is called, wait, is it called If the Shoe Fits? No.
Yeah.
It's called If the Shoe Fits, right? It's like a modern day Cinderella story where she's a shoe designer and she like designs these shoes and then she has this like weird fairy godmother and instead of a prince, it's like this head of this fashion house, like a Versace kind of a thing. And that person is Rob Lowe. So every time she puts on these shoes, she gets turned into this like model named Prudence.
Oh yeah. We got to seek that out.
And then she has two roommates who are like the ugly stepsisters. Okay. And she's that funny friend who's like the French funny friend.
I really don't remember like anything
it's so
except
good.
for the shoe. But we're missing.
And the fairy godmother goes, with wings on your feet, dreams can come true. Remember?
Is it sing? Is it RuPaul, the fairy godmother? What's happening?
She just sings that like one line.
Oh.
But
okay.
No.
We're forgetting the other main Jennifer Grey movie, Ferris Bueller's Day
Off. Yeah. She's so good in that.
So good, so great.
When she did this like freak out scene in this movie, it just so reminded me of her as the sister when she's like freaking out on the phone and she's like, I need help. Speak any English?
So good. I love it. I was going to say something. Oh, yeah. So so Dirty Dancing is so iconic, and it really lends itself to, there's so many pop culture moments that take from this movie, I guess. Two that I can think of that are coming to mind right now, although I'm sure there are much better examples, and everyone's probably going to laugh at me. But in the recent Fuller House, the Netflix original TV show, there's a great episode where they recreate the whole Last Dance scene with DJ and Kimmy do it, and then the guy from Dancing with the Stars and his twin. I guess he's a twin.
Her brother.
Amazing. Props to that. And then I remembered in that show on MTV long ago called My Super Sweet 16 or My Sweet 16.
The Sweet 16 party.
Yeah, this one girl wanted to recreate this dance at the end, so her parents hired her this dance instructor, and they did the whole dance, and it was this exciting moment. I think they did the lift. I don't know, but I just remembered that. So
yeah, so good. And the iconic line in this, right, is nobody puts baby in the corner. I feel like our dad used to say that like randomly all the time.
About what? About
just random shit. That's where we get our like inserting random movie quotes into everyday life. Thank you, Ron Dumas.
Love you, Ron. Love you, Ronnie. Yeah. Oh, and I also want to shout out to Lisa, who I feel bad for. I don't usually. Yeah. Usually when I watch this, I'm like, oh, she's so annoying and ugly and weird. Yeah. But
poor Lisa.
I know. And then this time,
was,
I felt so bad because she thinks she's like this hot ticket, and then by the end, you realize she has no talent. Yeah. And I hope she does too.
Let's deconstruct Lisa first of all. Yeah. So, she is the sister that her parents don't really like because she is annoying and she's not smart, and Baby is like the golden child.
Oh, I
right?
They did like her.
No, I mean, they like, remember she has that whole lecture with her. She's like, Dad finally listens to me now. Like, you're out of his good graces because she's like sneaking out at night and doing bad things. So that's Lisa, number one. Number two, she just wants to be loved too. Like, she's kind of obnoxious and she's not super smart. She likes fashion and boys, but she's not a hussy. Remember, Robbie takes her to the golf course, the 18th hole, to see the really good view, quote unquote. Like, it's like where people hooked up, I guess. And she's like, hell no. And he gets pissed. They still end up like dating, whatever. But then he like hooks up with that slutty older woman. And she just gets her heart broken too. So there's that really, really nice scene where both of them like basically are just so sad about like the romances that were doomed that summer. And they have that nice bonding moment. And she's like, I'll do your hair. And it's just so sweet.
I just want to point out that we've used the term hussy like 5 times. I don't think we've ever used that word in our lives.
Is it used in this movie? Is it just like...
I use it to talk about that older lady, and it just came to mind. It seemed to be fitting, and now we've adopted it like for everyone. So I just wanted to point that out. But yes, sweet moment.
We're bringing it back. We're bringing hussy back, everybody. Start using it on the reg. Yeah. So anything else? Amazing soundtrack. I remember I had the dual disc version of this soundtrack, which was not only the ones in the movie, but had like weird bonus ones and ones you like barely heard. They only played like a bar or two of, and it would be on the CD. Pretty cool. Also like instrumental versions of the songs. So like I had the time of my life is sort of like a, what is that called? When it's like a theme. Yeah. Throughout the whole movie. Yeah. So I fucking rocked that CD in my car or my boombox, my Sony
or your
boombox.
boombox in your car when your CD player got stolen.
Yeah. God, that sucked. So yeah, I remember that. And I still know like every word to every one of these songs today. So thank you, whoever gave me that CD. Probably mom and dad.
Probably. Yeah. So, yeah, that's probably it. I don't think I have anything else. But I know everybody loves this movie.
Good.
Totally a girls' night movie.
Yeah. And I just feel like it never gets old. And like, I don't know. I feel like I watched it when I was pretty young. And like we said, didn't understand it. But it just keeps growing on me.
Although I will say that I kind of lose interest like after they have sex and their relationship like blossoms. That part gets so boring to me. I think that's why I went to the bathroom. I was like, oh, boring part. Like just the politics of the secret dating life gets boring to me.
Yeah, and it just needs to be more dancing. Like it's when the dancing lessens, it's not as interesting, you know? Like the dancing is so good in this. Everyone's really talented and the music is great. So yeah, just awesome flick if I do say so myself.
Thank you. Me too. Yeah, so that's it, I guess. We're probably going to do a few episodes maybe this week because we're going to be down on the Cape with
T-Day, people.
With Carol herself. So we'll be maybe having a cameo surprise guest. But thanks for listening. If you could do us a huge favor and leave us a review on iTunes, we would much appreciate it. Thank you to people who have followed us on Twitter. Anyone else can follow us at the Sweetie Club. Also, like us on Facebook. That would be swell. So, thanks again. Talk to you next time.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.